Here are 8 dramatic Coronation Street spoilers for next week, including new beginnings, a secret kiss, and fostering plans. Don't miss out. Spoiler 1, Eileen's farewell. Eileen and George worry after reading a Gazette article that implicates them in an insurance scam, fearing that Shuttleworths might be affected. Later on, Jason asks Eileen to move to Thailand and to be his new business partner. Eileen tells Jason that she can't go, as George would never want to move to Thailand. Jason then relays this comment back to George, who doesn't want to get in Eileen's way, and books them a holiday to Thailand as a taster. George realises after some thought that he and Eileen aren't working out. Eileen then accepts Jason's offer after the police close Julie's case, saying her goodbyes and moving to Thailand for a fresh start. Spoiler 2, a broken family. Jason flirts with Danielle in the Rovers, with Danielle trying to remain composed at the mention of his brother Todd. With Millie staying the night at Todd's, Eileen warns Todd that he needs to discipline her, as he might end up being responsible for her. Millie won't return home unless Theo does too, but Theo tells her he can't live a lie anymore and is being true to himself by being with Todd. Spoiler 3, Tracy's suspicious. With Tracy flirting with Carl to make Steve jealous, Abby assumes he's got a girlfriend when she sees him receive a text from Fiona. Carl makes out that he's the boss of the garage to Fiona, with Tracy overhearing and wondering what he's up to. And Carl's got his eye on someone in our next spoiler, so stay tuned to find out who it could be. Spoiler 4, Carl goes in for a kiss. Abby warns Tracy that Carl is quite the player and that she's better off staying away from him. Carl then confronts Abby over the warning she gave to Tracy, suggesting that she's got the hots for him. Abby makes out that she doesn't have feelings for him, threatening to tell Kevin unless he leaves her alone, but Carl doesn't back off at all and asks Abby to be honest. He then goes in for a kiss. Spoiler 5, Tim goes behind Sally's back. Sally's pleased to have the house to themselves again, but Tim keeps the fostering meeting a secret from her. Sally's baffled though when she finds the house all tidy, Tim dressed to impress, and a social worker out the door. Later on, unhappy with Tim not discussing it with her first, Sally confides in Glenda that she feels as though they're too old to foster. Will Glenda give her some advice? Spoiler 6, Dylan comes face to face with Brody. With Dylan arriving home from the STC, Sean worries that Brody will cause trouble. At Roy's Rolls, Brody walks in as Dylan and Sean are having dinner, with Sean vowing to protect his son. Dylan's ready to protect himself though, and goes to follow Brody down the Ginnel. Sean speaks to Dylan's college, but Dylan isn't that happy about the idea of heading back. Later on, Brody bumps into Betsy and has a go at her for grassing on him to the police. Dylan jumps in and defends Betsy by fighting back against Brody though. Spoiler 7, tensions high between Ronnie and Debbie. With Debbie struggling to count her change, she rejects Ronnie's offer to help. Afterwards, Leanne thanks Ronnie for lending her his drill. Ronnie then notices Debbie watching them. And finally, spoiler 8, Dee Dee's reunited with Layla. Dee Dee gets stuck into a custody case as Ed worries she's pushing herself too much, too soon. Dee Dee then tells Daniel that giving up Layla was the right decision for her. However, she's not prepared for James to return back to Weatherfield with baby Layla in tow. Will she change her mind? And if you enjoyed this week's Coronation Street spoilers, subscribe so you can come back next week for more Weatherfield news.